Hello, and welcome back to Keto Homestead with Jess. Hope you all slept well and you have a wonderful day. I'm just getting straight YouTube on my phone so I can follow the chat. I forgot to charge my phone last night. Alright, we got 2 people in the chat and welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Oops. Don't want that. Brian Smith, good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Gemma, hello. Good to see you. I'll try to keep up to date with the chat. It's just kind of hard with the phone not being charged. So I was live last night on my Friday night mixer, and I was explaining to everyone that I have a mite infestation in the chicken coop right now. In 11 years of having chickens, I've never had any bug issues, mite problems, or anything. So one of my viewers last night suggested some garlic juice. So I researched that this morning. So that's what I'm going to do. I have a huge bag of already fresh peeled garlic. So I'm going to be using this. And then I have my little magic bullet. And like I said, I've never made this before, so we're going to see how it goes. If this noise bothers you, I am sorry. It is going to be loud for just a second. James, hello and good morning to you. So we're just going to put this in the magic bullet and grind it up. Again, if this bothers you, please go ahead and mute me for a minute. This is frozen. I have been keeping my garlic in the freezer to keep it fresh. So this is a frozen one. So I just snatched it. And I am going to try to make a large batch. So I just have a glass bowl here and a mesh strainer. And I'm going to just keep grinding this up. This might take a while for me to make personally because the garlic is frozen. What I read online, they said just push the garlic through the mesh strainer until you have garlic juice. And you can make as much as you want or as little as you want. And then basically you can put it in a mason jar or a bowl or whatever and store it in the fridge to use at a later use. So I'm making the garlic juice so I can add it to a spray bottle and I can go out to the coop and spray the coop. I can also spray the chickens. I love when I make noise, it gets everyone up out of bed. That is so true. My family always says I'm the noisiest. Here it goes again, so if you need a mute. I think the whole house is going to be smelling of garlic by the time I'm done tomorrow. But I have one of those big sprayers for like pests. You can put chemicals or whatever in. I use natural products, but one of them big, huge sprayers. So that's my plan. I'm going to make this garlic juice, fill it up with some garlic juice and some water, and then I'll take that big sprayer out and I'll be able to spray the coop and the chickens and everything. Of course, you gotta clean out your coop and your run first. So I'll rake everything out of the run, clean out all the nesting boxes, clean out the coop, and then I'll go in and spray the big sprayer in there. And I'm hoping that'll work. I did try without looking up anything for preventative, well, not preventative, but looking up, I didn't even look it up. And I just put apple cider vinegar in a spray bottle with water, and I tried that. It did not help. The next day I went out, and it was almost like it made it worse. So I don't know. Garlic good for everyone. I use it a lot, yes. And I don't know why I didn't think of garlic, but I just thought apple cider vinegar, and that's what I tried, and it did not work. And then also, I'll get paid on the 3rd, so I'll be able to go get some more diatomaceous earth. I am out right now. I use diatomaceous earth quite a bit. I use it as a dusting in the coop and the run and the nesting boxes, and I also use it in their dust bath. But like I said, I am out, so I need more of that. Here goes another run of the garlic. When you make the solution to spray your chickens, the solution for spraying your coop and nesting boxes is just the plain garlic juice and water mixed. But when you do your chickens, they said that you can add essential oil as well, but you gotta pay attention to the measurements, because the essential oils can irritate your chickens. How you doing, Gemma? How's everything going? I seen your cute outfit for the Elvis thing the other day on Facebook. Super cute. Oh, you're always cute, though. Your outfits of the day are always super cute. Yeah, so this is still, the garlic is chopped up and minced up, whatever you want to call it, but it is still frozen. So it's going to have to sit here for a while, which is fine. I might have to run it through the magic bullet again a couple of times, since it is still frozen. Let's see. Guess I should have researched this last night and pulled out the garlic out of the freezer last night, but it's all right. It'll still work. I'm trying to get all my stuff done outside, everything done outside before this afternoon, because it's going to be hot and muggy and smoky again today. And I don't want to be caught outside when it's like that. It's miserable. The last 3 days has just been horrible. Hey, Gigs, good morning. How are you doing? Long time no see. Hey, Dragon, good to see you. I had a viewer last night, Gigs, suggest making garlic juice. I have an infestation of mites in the chicken coop right now, and on the chickens, and then the nesting boxes. So the viewer recommended some garlic juice, so I researched that this morning, and so I'm making that. And also, for anybody that's interested in making it, when I did the research, they said you can put it in a mason jar and keep it for later use in the fridge. So I'm just trying to make a huge batch of it. This is going to be loud again. And like I said, mine, I pull my garlic out of the freezer. I keep my garlic in the freezer to try to keep it fresh. So my garlic's still frozen. That's all right. and sit on the counter for a while. The whole kitchen's going to smell like garlic, maybe even the whole house. Barrett will wake up asking if I'm trying to keep vampires away or something. Kaz, good morning. How are you? It's the afternoon there, I believe. Hope all is well. Here goes another round. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and let this stay on the counter and let it thaw out. And then the plan is hopefully the juices will just strain out through the strainer into the bowl. So we'll see. And then, so it's not frozen and it's difficult later if I want to make some more. I am going to go ahead and keep this bag of peeled garlic out of the freezer. We'll let that thaw out. And then I'll just put it in the fridge once it thaws out. And that way it won't be so tough making the garlic juice later. But what I read, it said it was safe to put the garlic juice in water and some essential oils in a spray bottle and spray down your chickens. I have been doing research for the last couple of days on what other homesteaders use for their chicken mites. And a lot of them were using, I'm not going to remember now. I think it was PSP. I believe that's what it was called. It's a natural occurring spray. It's supposed to be non-chemical, but what they were doing with it is putting the measurement of that into the bucket with water, and then they were dunking their chickens. Well, they weren't dunking them, but they were submerging their bodies in the water for at least 1 minute. So I'm wondering if I can do that with the garlic juice as well. I don't know. I have to do some more research on that. But I was also reading that you can actually feed the chickens garlic cloves, and when they eat the garlic cloves, then it'll seep through their pores, and the mites won't like that either. So I'm going to try that as well. I already do give the chickens cayenne pepper or crushed peppers, but that doesn't seem to be doing anything for the mites. So we'll try the garlic and see. The kids are supposed to be out today to swim. It's calling for thunderstorms though, so I don't know. It said like 30 minutes ago, the news said that we were supposed to get rain in like 10 minutes, and we haven't yet, knock on wood. But the weather is calling for thunderstorms today. I don't know. So if it doesn't rain, then the kids will be out for their little pool party. Awesome, James. Welcome to our members. Thank you so much. Gigs, probably. He's going to wake up thinking I'm making spaghetti sauce. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that too, Kaz. Feel better. Quit being down. Yes, Jenna's in UK too. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. How to build a home for Kaz in your garden. Hey, Tina Ladybug. Good morning. Hello, hello. I'm like way far behind on the chat and my phone. Let's see. Yes, thank you so much. All right. So yeah, that's basically what I had planned for you. This morning's live is making this garlic juice, and I guess I didn't plan it very well. That's okay. Like I said, it can sit on the counter and thaw out, and hopefully throughout the day, once it thaws, it'll start leaking in there. Where's my, I'll be right back. All right, this is what I usually use for anything outside that I need to spray. This is normally my apple cider vinegar spray bottle. Spray bottle. I get these at the dollar store. I really like them. They're just cheap and convenient. But usually I do all my cleaning with either essential oils and rubbing alcohol or apple cider vinegar. Like I said, this is just my apple cider vinegar bottle. So I'm going to clean it out and get it ready. And that will be ready. I think what I'll do is, like I said, I'll put some in the big sprayer and just spray the coop and floor and nesting boxes and everything down. And then I'll go back in with just the spray bottle and spray the chickens down with the garlic and essential oil solution and see how that works. And in the meantime, I will research if I can actually submerge them in garlic juice. I was watching some videos on the chicken mites, and thankfully, I mean, my mite infestation is pretty bad. As soon as you walk in, you can see them all crawling on. It makes me itch just thinking about it. On the outside of the nesting boxes. But some of the videos I was watching, some of the ladies' chickens, their mites were so bad they were in the vent feathers, and they were just like clumped up like lice. My chickens aren't that bad yet. I haven't found any in their vent, but it is under, like, if you lift up their wings, it is in the warm parts of their body. So they're under the wings. And I don't want it to get to the point where their vent feathers are impacted with it. So I'm serious. When's B making my new room? I'll have to talk to him about it, Kat. I don't want to worry anyone. I understand that. Thunderstorms here too, Jess. Hey, James, what state are you in, if you don't mind me asking? On the next episode of Cooking with Jess, 101 ways to use garlic juice. Right? I have them bottles for my grills. My grill for ribs, they come in handy. Yes, they do, and they're very inexpensive. May the garlic sauce be with you. That's funny. It seemed though like yesterday, after I got everything done that I need to get done, I went out. It was so muggy and hot and smoky. It was just so hard to breathe. It was horrible. And I went out to the swimming pool and got in the pool. I don't know. I was probably out there maybe an hour. But I don't know if it was because the water was there and it was so hot outside that it was helping with, I don't know, evaporation in my lungs or something, but it made me feel so much better being in the swimming pool with all that cold water. I was like, oh my gosh. Anybody that has like breathing issues or COPD or anything like that, I was feeling for them. Like, I don't even know how they can breathe in this. We got 7 in the chat. Awesome. Please, everyone, remember to hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And if you have a capability, share me out. I don't know how long I'm going to be on here. I guess it depends on you guys. Now, since my garlic juice has to thaw. I was going to make the garlic juice, mix it up, and head out to the coop, but plan has changed a bit. So what's everybody getting into? Do you have plans for 4th of July weekend? Any parties or get-togethers or cookouts going on? Water Baby Returns, starring Queen Jess. Oh my goodness, you guys. So I'll tell you too, when I was in the swimming pool, Jiminy Christmas, did you try and give me a heart attack? I thought there was a ghost in the kitchen. What are you doing up?
You're noisy.
Sorry. Did I wake you?
Yeah.
Guys, he's trying to give me a heart attack today.
No, I didn't wake you.
You didn't wake me. I know you didn't wake me. I was up before you. But I was walking the swimming pool, like on the inside, checking everything out, and the plastic lining that goes around the railing of the swimming pool has tree frogs in them. So every time you like bend over and look in that little pocket, there's like how many pockets? There's probably like 20 pockets around the pool or something like that. And you look in there, it's like the sleeve that hangs onto the swimming pool, and there's green tree frogs in there. I counted 5 of them yesterday. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, it was creepy. And they're not cute. They're weird looking. They're creepy looking.
They're lime green.
Yeah, they're lime green. Gemma says I'm going to a local park music day. Awesome, Gemma. Those are so cool. I love park music days. We don't have any locally. We got to go to like a big city to go to anything like that. I wish they would have them local though. Morning, Barrett, Dragon says. Thank you, Cass, so much for sharing me out.
Good morning, people.
Gemma says, good morning, Barrett.
Morning, Gemma. Good morning, Dragon.
James says, I'm working around the house today. No, I'm in the UK. As it falls on my payday, I can eat. Then, woo-hoo, yay. Kaz wants to know when you're building her room. She's going to come stay with us. She said you got to build her a room in the garden.
Okay. So,
we could do like a TP or
she want to,
oops, I didn't realize you couldn't see me. Sorry.
she wanted, the creek view or the road view?
Oh, okay. Do you hear that, Kaz?
Or the field view? Yeah.
James says, pour me a cup of coffee. We love you too, Gemma. Come get it, James. I don't know. I'm still trying to wake up. I can't believe you're up this early. I slept in, but I stayed up until 1
I
o'clock.
got up at 8 o'clock yesterday.
Did you get up at 8? No, you didn't. Oh, yeah, you did. It was the day before that you slept until 1, noon or 1.
Wasn't one.
11:30.
11:30.
James says, good morning, Barrett.
Morning, James.
Cass says, creek, please.
Creek. Sure.
That's a weird, it sounds weird in that sentence. Crick.
Creek.
Crick.
Creek.
Oh, my lands. Can you smell the garlic yet?
What are you doing?
I'm making garlic juice. It says, Dragon said make garlic juice for the mites. And when I researched it this morning, they don't like it. So, Dragon's right. So, we're going to spray it in the coop. I'm going to keep cleaning the coop and the nesting boxes out. And I'm going to spray that stuff everywhere. And we'll see if it kills them.
You have to really scrub that. You have to spray that whole thing out with soap and water. Yes.
I said I know.
Clean it all up. Let the chickens free range.
The chickens are not free ranging. Trying to kill my garden.
Yeah, but they'll get the bugs and stuff.
Yeah, and they'll get my lettuce and my cabbage and stuff. No. And my tomatoes.
It's fenced in.
Remember last year? They had peck marks all through my
That was
tomatoes.
Thomas that did that.
Well, whoever. No birds are free ranging in the summer.
You can let the rabbits loose.
No. Go back to bed.
Huh?
Go back to bed. You're getting crazy ideas. Nothing's free ranging right now. Cash just know Barrett charges an hourly rate for the Wigwam TP with the creek view. Laugh out loud.
I'm not responsible for floods either.
Yeah, floods down there quite a bit too, Cass. These jars, I need to label and get put away. These are turnips I harvested. I use them as mock potatoes. I fried these up the other day as I do the radishes. I did it fresh though. I had some turnips left over from canning. So for that dinner, I used that as a side dish and basically just fried the diced turnips in bacon grease, onion, salt and pepper, and celery seed. And they turned out really good, didn't they? Mm-hmm. And if you've ever ate turnips before,
Fresh out of the garden.
they are pretty strong. So if you rinse them quite a few times and then fry them up, they won't have that real strong earthy taste. I don't know, some people like that earthy taste and then others don't. They turned out really good. Cass says I'll work for my room and food. Yay! James joined your channel, Gemma.
Might be a hay field by the time she gets here.
I know. Bear's lawnmowers broke down again. Okay, B, I changed places. I work for my keep.
I'm gonna buy goats.
No, you're not. I don't want it. Ew, look, there's a white spider on me.
Kill it.
I'm going to. I've never seen a white spider. That was an albino spider. Ooh. Hey, Brian, good morning. He says, good morning, Barrett.
Morning, Brian. Where you been?
He's been busy working. He says, good morning to everyone. I know when you guys don't come on the lives, we miss you.
Yeah.
What day did I do the turnips, babe? Do you remember?
Last week.
I have to go look at my pictures on Facebook. Let's see what date I posted that.
We got a rabbit loose.
What?
Down there in the
Oh,
corner.
yeah. I'm like, what? No way. Yeah, we had a rabbit the other morning. We walked down to the garden to check everything out. I thought you meant one of my meat rabbits was loose. So Monday the 26th is when I can this. We'll have to get all this stuff over to the pantry.
I got to tell later on.
Why?
I get dog food.
Ugh.
You can stay home.
I've seen too much of town lately.
No.
I spelled this so wrong. I was talking and trying to spell at the same time. I spelled it turpis.
Turpis, huh?
Turpis. It's weird. Oh well. We'll know what it is. I gotta get back to the chat so I don't miss comments. Barrett, have you tried a manual adjustment on your lawnmower? Preferably with a 10-pound sledgehammer.
I'm about ready to. About ready to take all these lawnmowers and junk them. Get $50 a piece for them.
Brian's has been busy doing stuff around the house. That's fine, Kaz. Hey, trust in God. Good morning. Good to see you. Sherry, good to see you as well. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Green beans are starting to come on. We had a harvest the other day. It was just enough for 2 servings, and actually it was green beans and wax beans. And Barrett cooked those up with some ham and butter, and onion. It was really, really good. So canning season's getting ready to take off.
If we don't eat them before we can.
We can't eat that many. We bought 4 rows.
Okay. Green beans, you can put some green beans away.
I know. I love green beans. I could eat a whole jar like this cold of just green beans.
Supposed to be for storage. You ran out of green beans last year. Rains on winter hit.
I know. But they were so good. You've never heard of a thing called garlic juice? Honestly, I don't think I've ever heard of garlic juice either until last night. Garlic juice I'm using for anybody that's just popping in. I made took some garlic cloves and put in the magic bullet and ground it up, and then I put it in a bowl in a mesh strainer, and hopefully that will thaw out. My garlic cloves were frozen, so we're waiting for that to strain through the strainer, and then I'll have garlic juice, and I'm going to use it on chicken mites. You can make a bunch or just as much as you're going to use. But you can store the garlic juice in the refrigerator for later use.
Let's just get some wild garlic.
Somewhat.
Wild garlic.
It doesn't matter. You can use wild garlic or fresh garlic or whatever.
Save your garlic in there.
I have like 12 huge bags of garlic in the freezer. Yeah. These bags have like 12 bags of these. They need to be used up, so this is a good project for them. Afternoon in England. The garden is doing really good, Brian. We're not producing too much yet, but it's still a little bit early. We're just sitting back and basically tying tomatoes and
carrots are really doing good.
Yeah, the carrots are doing awesome. Everything's doing really, really good. We're just waiting for everything to either produce or get big enough to harvest.
There's some steaks made for those tomatoes, though.
Yeah, we need more stakes. I planted way too many tomatoes. We got to put some more stakes in for the tomatoes and for the peppers. Cass says, I can eat a bowl of green beans, please. Yummy. I'm looking for green tomatoes. I want to fry them and make sandwiches. James, did you ever tell me what state you're in? I didn't see it. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to. But this year, I put in the garden the, what did I put? The German green. The ruby German green tomatoes. So they never turn red. They just stay green, like a bright green. And they're really, really good for frying tomatoes. So I think I planted 4 tomato plants of those this year. So hopefully they produce really well and they'll be featured in future videos. I never made that before, Brian says. Brian says, that's awesome, Jess. Thank you, Brian. What's for breakfast, Queen Jess? I don't know. I haven't even thought about it yet. Thank you, Brian. Brian gifted Trust in God a membership. Welcome to Memberships Trust. Thank you so much, Brian. What do you want for breakfast, Barrett?
No.
He always says nothing. And then after I cook breakfast and eat and wash my dishes, he says, where's mine? What happened to my breakfast?
Never.
You did it the other day on the live. You showed proof.
Nuh-uh. That's a bigger minute of the camera.
You can never have too many tomato plants. You just run of hands and time trying to figure out what to do with them. I think Barrett would disagree with you, Jagan. I think every year my tomato plant increase.
Yeah.
I knew what you meant, Dragon. I don't even know how many tomato plants we have this year. Did you count them?
70 something.
And it was 62 last year, wasn't it? Or 72 last year? I can't remember. Maybe 62. I'm gonna have to count the tomato plants. But I put, most of you that watch the garden videos, I put the determinate tomatoes on the left side and the indeterminate on the right side, and then they kind of come together in the middle. But the indeterminate, I always get these mixed up. The indeterminate are the ones that go crazy, the viney ones, right?
You put this right in the middle.
I know. They went nuts. They're going crazy. Kaz wants to know when you're going to hula hoop.
When she gets up her work.
Ha! There you go, Kaz.
So we both knock our hips out, boys.
Dragon, you're so right about that. He says, I bet Barrett don't bitch about the tomato plants when he's eating the BLT.
No. I'm not complaining about tomato plants.
Oh, double Brian's. You do when we're out there planting them for hours on end.
No, I do not. I think you did more complaining than I have this year.
I know. I did do a lot of complaining. Well, my back has been flared up. It hurts, and then I got my thigh stuck in that stupid crate.
Your thigh? Yeah, right.
I didn't tell anybody on my panel what happened in my traumatic garden experience.
Got her lip stuck.
Shush! Babe! You can say it like more appropriate, like lady bits or lady parts. Oh, how embarrassing.
I don't hold nothing back.
I think Kaz is like the only one that heard that story. Horrible. Oh my god. I can't believe you just said that on my live.
What? It happens.
It's never happened before in 11 years of me gardening.
Yeah, it's the first time for everything.
Dishes are done. Now back to laptop to say hello and chat. Brian's laughing. Hula hooping is hard to do. It is hard to do. Kaz is trying to get us to throw a hip out or something. So I guess now that we have, how many people are in this chat? Oh my gosh. We've got 13 people listening. I guess since you had to go and say that, I'll tell the garden story. So the other day, thought we were going to have a wonderful, beautiful day in the garden. We go down to the garden and start working. Barrett's, I don't even know what you're doing. I think he was planting or weeding, one of the two. And I have a plastic milk crate that we keep in the garden. And I was using it to sit on, and I was tying and trimming up tomatoes. So basically, I'm rocking back and forth on the crate because I have to bend down, snip the tomato, and then sit back up, grab my string, bend over, tie the tomato to the stake and everything, the tomato plant to the stake. And I was doing this, and next thing I feel is this huge pinch in my lady parts. And I start screaming and crying. It hurts so bad. I'm screaming for Barrett. He comes running. He has no idea what's wrong. And I'm like, help me. And he's like, help you what? What's wrong? And I'm like, down there. And he's like, what? So he's like bent over, trying to look under the crate to see what's going on. It was horrible. It was so traumatizing. I was stuck there for what, 5-10 minutes? And Barrett's trying to free me from this stupid plastic crate.
I was getting ready to call 911.
Oh my gosh. It was horrific. It was so bad, you guys. Like, the pinching down there, it felt like a rush of just sweat over my body. I thought I was going to pass out. It was so bad.
So you going to get a piercing now?
No, I'm never getting a piercing down there. It was the worst. But yeah, I'm having anxiety thinking Barrett's going to have to call the ambulance and like the whole neighborhood, because you know we live in the country and everybody talks. So the whole country store in the neighborhood would know what happened to me in the garden. It was horrible. And then I was talking in Kaz's chat about it the day it happened. I ended up in the house for like 2 hours with the ice pack on, just relaxing. So my whole day went to kaput. And someone in Kaz's chat said, what if you would have had to walk into the ER with a crate attached to you? I said, oh my gosh, I don't even know how I would have gotten into the vehicle, into the back of the truck with a crate attached to me like that. Kaz says, oh no, here we go. Ouchie. Yeah, it was the biggest ouch ever.
Well, at least
you know, though, it did take my back pain away for a little bit.
At least I learned something. I'll never sit on a crate.
No more crates in the gardens, you guys. We're We're switching to buckets or the garden chair or something. That is very true, Dragon. He says it's better to catch the body part on the crate rather than a barbed wire fence or electric fence.
Yeah.
I've never had my weighty parts on an electric fence, but I have had my tongue on the electric fence. Longboarding mom, hello, you snuck in there. How are you doing? Don't worry, Jess, I missed that part. It's loud in my house. Laugh out loud. I have to work. I have work to do before the storm. Great live, Jess and Bear. All right, James, have a good day. Stay happy, healthy, and safe, and have a great 4th of July. Brian's laughing. And I never said word proves I don't blab, sis. I know. Buckets only or camping stools, yeah. And we gotta make sure the buckets don't have a crack in it. It's freaking ridiculous. They should come up with a show that the dumbest things that land you in the ER instead of sex lands you in the ER. Because the dumbest stuff always happens to me. Dragon says, Jess, my brother peed on the electric and he didn't walk right for 2 weeks. I believe it. It was set up to shock cattle. Yep. We grew up with electric fences, and our friend, she always had it on the highest setting as well, which is cattle. And my brother and his friend, they decided they were going to have a peeing contest and pee on the fence. And so they both peed on the fence, and they both were freaking laying down in the horse pasture with poop all around them because the horses, they're just laying there with their pants down. My friend, she walks out to the pasture and sees the boys, and she's like, "You dumbasses!" And she's like one of those people, like, when she says dumbass, like, it just sticks in your head like a memory. Like, I know exactly how she'll say it. It just cracks me up. Yeah, we did a lot of crazy stuff when we were kids. We always played hide and seek in the dark, like pitch dark. And we'd always be running into the electric fences, getting thrown back and knocked on our butts. It's crazy. I remember one time we had a friend, Amber, and she was black, and she came out, and we were playing hide and seek in the dark, and nobody could find her, and we were getting like mad. We couldn't find her, and I think that night, Ashley, my friend, she stuck her tongue on the electric fence that night. She got shocked. We're like running around. She's screaming. We're trying to find Amber. Can't find Amber. And then as soon as Ashley gets shocked by the electric fence, she starts busting up laughing. We finally found her for her laughing. That was hilarious. We used to have good times in the country. You can't do stuff like that anymore, because like we would go to like the neighbor's cornfield. We just like went wide open to each neighbor's cornfield or field or whatever. Now you can't do that. You get shot. Hey, South Florida, good to see you. You snuck in there too. Chess says, do not worry. I do not know what happened like the rest of the town. I will after I watch the restream though. Just saying, laugh out loud. Use a metal bucket. They do bizarre ER. Do they? I didn't know they had a bizarre ER. God, could you imagine if that crate was metal? I don't think metal's a good idea, Kaz. Just saying. Moonlight, good morning. I don't even know how long I've been on. I don't think I've been on that long, but then again, I start talking, time flies. Dang. Yeah, I've been on for 50 minutes, it says. I don't think I've been that long. Brian says, that is hilarious, Jess. It wasn't hilarious in the moment, Brian. It's all right. I can talk about it now. I'm not laughing about it yet, but at least I can talk about it. I know, we got lots of people in today. Sis Jess, we having breakfast? I don't know. I don't know what to make. Longboard and Mom says hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm getting ready for work and just listening. You want some chia pudding?
Chia pudding for
or chia nut milk? You want some of that?
I don't.
Well, then why did you mention it?
Because you hadn't made it for a while. I'm giving him coffee.
Okay, now I'm confused, Brian. He says, how are you going to use the garden juice? Are you talking about the garlic juice? Oh, my Lancet. I should have said nothing. Okay. Brian says, don't forget to hit the like button for Jess. Thank you, Brian. We used to play kick the can in the field in the dark. That was the only time our parents would let us play outside after the streetlights came on. Right, Dragon? Okay, Brian's laughing. He says, oh, garlic. It was funny, Brian. Oh, so we have a chicken mite infestation right now, Brian. And Dragon suggested, I was using apple cider vinegar, and it seems like it made it worse, the mite infestation. So Dragon suggested garlic juice. So I've made some garlic juice, and it's straining or trying to strain in the mesh strainer. And then I'll put it in a water bottle, fill it up with some water, and I'm going to spray the heck out of these mites today and hopefully kill them.
Fresh and rushed.
Oh, yeah, I got to clean it out first. I got to get all of the hay and straw.
Spray it down with water, soapy water, rinse it out, and you can spray that stuff.
And then I got to spray the chickens, too. No, I'm going to spray them with the garlic juice, too. And we'll see how that does. And then if that doesn't work, then we'll dip them. Because I don't know if you can submerge them in the garlic juice. The chickens.
No, I wouldn't try that. See what that stuff's going to cost.
Oh, no. You want to know the price of that? PSP is what he's talking about, what I looked up, that they were dipping the chickens in. For like 10 ounces, it was $190 some.
Seriously?
Yep. So we are not going that way. It's a natural occurring chemical. It's not a chemical. It's a natural occurring element. And it's supposed to work really, really well for chicken mites, but not at that price for us. Yeah, and then I was looking at alternative stuff, and there's a couple like independent sellers like on eBay and Macari and stuff like that. And they give you like an eyedropper bottle like this. I think I can't remember how many milliliters are in it, but it's an eyedropper like this, and they were selling for $25 to $35. Yes, hopefully it's supposed to help them, Brian. It's supposed to kill the mites. And then I was also reading that if you feed the garlic to the chickens, that the garlic will seep out of the chicken's pores, and that will stop the mites from biting them because they don't like the chemicals that are in the garlic. Yes. One of the recipes did call for garlic and essential oils. You just have to be careful with essential oils because it can irritate the chicken's skin. Thank you, Kaz. I
I
appreciate
just want
that.
Bruce might have that. Was his back being like that?
The chicken mice don't transfer to any other animals.
Sure.
Yep. I did research that.
Well, sure would jump on you.
They'll jump on you, but they won't live there. They won't stay there. And the chicken mites, they don't bite me when they're on me. They just crawl and it's creepy and I don't like that feeling.
Well, maybe that's what Bruce's problem is. They're crawling on him and he's scratching.
Maybe. I don't know. Bruce has recently decided to scrape his back on something. I think he's doing it on the rabbit pens. But now he has a bald spot on his back. And I don't know if he's just doing that, just getting under the rabbit pens and out by scraping, or if he's doing it because he's itching or has a skin problem. But I haven't seen any bugs or anything on him when I brush him. It's like he just freaking rubbed the hair off his back for some reason.
He did that last year.
Yeah, he did. Now that you say that, I recall that. I don't know what's going on with him. All right, Kaz. Good morning, Chef Kicker. Good to see you. Yes, you do still gotta send me a picture of your new rooster, Brian. I think you can spray the coop with the oils too. Yeah, I don't see why not.
Did you notice the gray ones?
No, I need to check the little ones too, the lavender orphantons. But they haven't been like scratching or acting weird like the main coop, the main flock. So I don't think so. But it'd probably be a good idea to do them just as a preventative. Kaz says maybe do something like they do with sheep, like a dip. The rooster's spoiled, Brian. Aww.
What's his name? George?
I think you're right, Mooney. I think you're 100% right. She says, I think there's junk in the dog food now that makes the dogs have skin reactions.
Well, Rebel hadn't been eating.
I know. And my Rebel has been, 3 days? She's refused to eat. I don't know what's going on with Rebel. She's starting to get me really worried. And then the same dog food that we have used with them continually their whole life has been Gravy Train. And I don't know what happened to Gravy Train, but we can't find their food anywhere. Tractor Supply can't get it in. Rural King can't get it in. We found small bags at Walmart, but
There's only a couple bags there.
there was only 2 bags, and economically, it's not affordable because they're like, how many pounds is in that? Like 5?
18.
18? Are you sure it's 18?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess 18 pounds are in the bag for $10.
Yep.
And we're used to getting 40, 50-pound bags. It's just crazy. Brian says Leroy.
Leroy.
The biggest, baddest rooster in town.
Nah. I'm gonna have the biggest, baddest rooster. He's perched again on top.
It's a little Bantam, just okay. He might be the baddest man in town, or baddest rooster in town. Then they got some attitude sometimes. He's got a Bantam.
This is gonna be the baddest rooster, Brian.
What's his name? Barrett.
George. How come that's not showing up?
It will. It just takes a minute to catch up. I was just going to ask Brian if the cockadoodle-doo was annoying you.
Look, he sees it. Sees it. So, all right.
Their throws get getting bigger and bigger, you guys. It's so funny. Brian says I'm laughing. I switched to Victor. My daughter uses it for her dog. And when I went to her house, Stormy did great on it. It's more money, but Stormy eats less. I don't think I've heard of Victor. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to write that down so I don't forget. I'll just screenshot and then I can go back and look.
Brian said he's got a wig, Barrett.
Sherry says, oh, so cute. Bad Leroy Brown, right, guys? Mooney says, so cute. This is going to be Brian and his new rooster. He got a wig Barrett. I gotta go look at this real quick. Come on. Loading.
We have to get a top for that. They're flying out.
I know. I hate that when you click on the link and it's like muted and you miss the whole thing, and you go to click on it again and it's muted again. That Brian or Dragon said this is Brian with his rooster. Can you hear it? It's not playing yet. It's still retrieving. Come on. There it goes. That's Barrett. That can be Brian and Barrett. Barrett's always calling his animals George. He wants to name every animal we get George. I said, not everybody can have the same name. Yeah, they can.
Yeah, you got George the first, George the second, George the third.
Oh my goodness. What's going on with the coop? Sherry, the coop is infested with chicken mites right now. And the chickens are infested with them. So we're coming up with home remedies to get rid of them. All right, Cass, you have a good day. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you later, probably.
I wonder if we had a raccoon last night.
Why?
Is it? Dude, Jason moved.
Dragon says, Brian, Barrett's new chicken was trying out for the last hair band called the Farmyard Chicks. See, Faith, hey, long time no see. How's it going? Yes, it's a golden sea bright. That's what Brian's Bantam is. So yeah. I guess a lot of people get chicken mite Sherry, but this is the first time I've ever experienced it. And we've been raising chickens for 11 years. Or at least I've been raising chickens for 11 years now. Barrett's had chickens when he was younger and stuff with his parents. But this is the first time I've ever dealt with any pest when it came to the chickens.
You gotta get it under control because it can kill the chickens.
Yeah, and if they get the mites bite the chickens and cause infection, and it can stop egg production, and it can lead to them dying. Why did my screen just go black? Oh, that was weird. Oops, I have to turn the volume down. Yeah. All right, Cass. See you later. Girl, I'm in the process of moving to the country. I'm scared to get chickens. Why? Why are you scared of chickens? I'm glad you're moving to the country. That's awesome. That's exciting news. Chickens are pretty, normally chickens are very low maintenance. I think they're probably the best farm animal to start out with because they are super simple. But like I said, this is the first time I've ever dealt with anything pest-wise. I've had, I think it was 2 years ago now, I was live and I had a hen that went egg bound, and that was horrible. And basically, the egg just gets trapped inside of their vent and they can't push it through. And some people are really successful with doing Epsom salt baths with the chickens, but then it's like a 50-50. Some people, they do the Epsom salt bath and they release the chicken and then the chicken still dies. Or they do the Epsom salt bath and the egg still doesn't come out. So mine, when I did the live, the egg never came out, and I believe that chicken became septic and died. So because they stink so bad, and if I smell that, I'm gonna probably pass out or something. Oh, chickens don't smell that bad, I don't think. I guess it depends on what you feed them to. You think they stink, Barrett? I don't think they stink, but that's maybe because I'm around them all the time.
As long as you keep their cute clean and stuff.
Yeah.
Fun.
Brian says it's a beautiful color, Jess. Kind of like a copper color. That's awesome.
You just got a rooster and that's it? No hens, no.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Brian, you heard him. Do you have hens too? I think he got hens too. But this is just a new rooster, I believe. I could be wrong though. He has gray feet. Oh, I guess they do. All the Bantams have dark gray feet. I think I've only had Bantams once. And I don't even remember. No, they probably weren't even Bantams. I don't know. We've had the Polish, which Barrett just showed you. And then, what was the other ones we got? The fancy ones. They were like the very first chickens I started out with.
What was fuzzy feet?
That's what I'm trying. Yeah, that was a Bantam. A fuel. How do you say it? Flues something. FLU something chicken. But they're itty bitty tiny Bantams. And it was like red and black and white mix. It was really pretty. But they were dumb. They didn't survive out on the farm. The pretty birds don't really survive on the farm, especially when it comes to predators, because they're not very smart. And the Afro ones, the Polish ones that Barrett just showed you, they're pretty dumb too, because they can't see. That Afro will get so big that it covers their eyes. So if a predator comes in, they basically get wiped out. But thankfully, we have the Great Pyrenees and Marama, our dogs, next to them, so they'll be okay when they get big enough to go out. All right, see Faith, you have a great day. Thanks so much for coming in. It was good to see you.
If the dogs don't eat them.
The dogs won't eat them. Why would you say that?
Oh, come on.
They've been doing good.
Yeah, they have. But Bruce used to chase them.
Used to. He hasn't been doing it.
He don't eat them. He thinks they're play toys.
I know.
He slaps them with the big paw of his.
Brian said, yes, I wanted to see how I liked him. Marie says, Dragon, can we have chickens? Brian says he doesn't eat much. Dragon says, sure, Mooney, but I put a limit on 50 maximum on the flock. I don't want to be the next Colonel Sanders. Good luck, Dragon. Don't forget about chicken math. What happens to the best of them? He is about a pound. Oh,
Dragon, don't do it. It's a trick. 50 chickens first, then it comes the goats, then the cows, and the horses, then the llamas, and
well,
the...
Mooney already has a horse, so
Yeah,
she's
well,
good there.
she'll want another one.
Dragon 50? Yep, that's a lot, Moonlight said. He has a rose comb. Aww. You've got to send me a picture now, Ryan. I wish they could, like, post the picture here. Brian's laughing. Hey, we've had some really good adventures getting farm animals.
Yeah, she don't go to local. She's got to go clear out of blasting state and everything get animals.
Well, I can't help it. That's where they're available.
Yeah, right.
We've had some great road trips and we've had some great adventures. And think of all the memories we made.
Mm-hmm.
And the only furthest place we went is Kentucky. That's not that far.
Where'd you get those piglets at that one time? 3-hour drive?
I don't know, but it was still in Ohio. It wasn't that bad. And you skip the road trip sometimes too. Because when we went down to Logan, Ohio, you didn't go.
I'm gonna skip a lot more too.
No, you're not. Brian, the thing about feed is they might have different brand names, but if you read it, the fine print, basically all the feed is made by the same company. So I don't have a good answer for that. Brian, I don't know. Have you tried everything to scare him? Try standing out there with a 357 to the rooster's head and ask it, do you feel lucky, punk? Well, do you? Try. And Mooney says, I want a horse for my horse. But then when Dragon and I get riding, the third horse will be lonely, so we need him a friend.
Told you it's a trick, Dragon.
Have any of the animals had babies this year? Yeah, we had the baby chicks and the baby rabbits. They didn't survive though. I don't know what happened there. And that's it, I think. Hopefully we'll be hatching out baby turkeys soon. And baby kittens. We have baby kittens. How could I forget that?
Well, we got another year before we have dogs.
Yeah, next year. Well, it'll be next year. Next summer, we'll be able to breed Brutus and Rebel. She'll be old enough. So I'm excited about that. We'll have puppy kisses. Little puppy breath.
You better make sure you go sell them. We're having all these black dogs around here. They're driving nuts. They're barking at deers.
That's what they do.
That's
they
all
bark.
they do is bark at
They're
deers.
guard dogs. That's what they're supposed to do. You tell them, good job.
No,
Yeah.
bad job. Keeps me awake.
Dragon says, well, Mooney will need the third house to carry all the picnic supplies. Not house, third horse to carry all the picnic supplies. You still spelled horse wrong, Dragon. You spelled it horse. Need the third horse. Picnic supplies. I'm starting to get hungry. What do you want?
I don't care. Bacon and eggs, I guess.
Are you making dinner tonight? I I think you should make dinner tonight. I've been making dinner every night for like weeks.
What do you want?
Chicken.
Chicken.
Chicken wings.
We just had chicken wings.
But I love it.
I suppose.
You can make chicken wings and I'll make the kale smoothie.
I'll make me some shrimp.
I gotta start saving money up so that we can go to Lancaster in September and get our prongs.
Yeah. We didn't go last year.
Because it was like the year before, it was like $80 for 8 pounds.
What did you pay the first year? $80.
No, I didn't spend that much the first time.
Mm.
I don't remember. That's too long ago. Manny said, "Who's cleaning these 3 homes? Not homes, horses. Will the turkeys be ready for Christmas, or do they have, or do you have goose?" No. These turkeys are more. They're bred for eggs. You can eat them, but they don't have a lot of meat on them. I don't like raising the meat turkeys.
They're ugly.
They're a lot like the meat chickens. They're really gross. They're really dirty and gross. So they won't be ready to butcher until next year if I want to butcher them. That's a lot, Dragon. Mimi says, "Oh, good. Not in the cleaning 3 houses. I wouldn't be either." Mooney said, "That's not me at all." He doesn't have a lot of meat on him. Yeah, the bantams are more for egg laying, Brian, for enjoyment, just to watch them. I was just teasing, Minnie. You're actually a very why can't I say that word right now? I can't say it. Down to earth woman. See, I know nothing about farm life. That's all right. We have friends that know farm life, so. Minnie says, "I'm very simple." What's your plan today, Barrett? What are you getting into?
We gotta go and tell him to get dog food.
Ugh.
Well, I gotta go.
I want to. I hate it. I can say aluminum. I can say that fine. Brian says, "Get a rooster, Sherry." I'm very interested in it. I could do it and appreciate it. I couldn't do it. Appreciate it. I think it's pretty simple. It's not too bad when you're starting from scratch because you're doing little things. You're doing one thing at a time. It gets a little overwhelming once you collect a lot. I think most homesteaders and farmers are hoarders. We start hoarding chickens and turkeys and quail and rabbits and dogs, sometimes cats. And when you start adding a bunch of stuff like that on top of gardening and canning and herb garden and all that stuff, it can be a little overwhelming. Right. Chicken. Ugh. All right, Dragon, how do I get the garlic smell out of my magic bullet now? Any tips on that? Anybody? In Jess's case, she's about to start holding emus and ostriches purely for the drumstick. I can't run anymore, Dragon. Can you imagine trying to see me run from them animals? They're quick. I've been in the country for years. That's awesome. Baking soda. Thank you, Dragon. Do some baking soda. I would hate for my berries or whatever I put in here next to taste like garlic. I'm gonna let that soak. Yesterday I made cucumber salad with just cucumbers, sour cream, and my homemade ranch seasoning. Oh my gosh, it was so good, you guys. I made that for a side dish for dinner. we ate a lot of vegetables yesterday. I did the kale smoothie, the cucumber salad, and then my pepper melody. Love that. Love that dish. It's so easy and good. Basically, it's just chopped up onions, chopped up red, green, and yellow bell peppers. What else did I put in there? Avocado oil, Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, and sausage. And you just mix it up in a bowl and throw it on a sheet pan. So good. So we did lots of vegetables yesterday for dinner. I wouldn't mess with an ostrich, even the way they look at you. It's like they want to kill you, right, Sherry?
Did it rain?
I guess it said, I had a weather alert on my phone when I woke up, and it said that it stormed at 2. It was supposed to storm at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then thunderstorms at 3 a.m. But I didn't hear it or see it.
Yeah.
Just make sure to have a shield and a lance with you anytime you go into their pen. I never was afraid of any of the animals that we had except for Barrett's rooster. He had, I don't even know what that rooster was. It was evil. And I'd always have a stick with me when I went around him. He was such a jerk. It was when I first started getting the animals on the farm, because this farm sat forever. Nobody had any animals until I came along. And I didn't really have the money to go out and purchase a bunch of animals. And somebody on Craigslist, I think it was Craigslist, was getting rid of a rooster for free. And I'm like, oh, I was so naive. I had no idea what I was doing. And she said, I'll even drop it off to your house. And I'm like, okay. So she brought this rooster, and it was a short little black rooster, just a small thing. It was probably about this big. And I don't know what he was, but he was mean. Every time I went outside, he'd peck me and freaking draw blood. He was Barrett's favorite rooster. And he ended up naming him Raisinette because he looked like a little raisin. And literally, he would draw blood. And Barrett's like, chickens don't bite, they just peck. And I was like, well, whatever he's doing, he's drawing blood. And in the summertime, of course, I always wear shorts, and I've got freckles on my legs. And every time I'd go out there to feed them or water them, he would attack me. It was horrible. So I'd always make sure to have a stick with me. My sister wants my brother-in-law to get rid of the roosters. Why? I call animal services for their help. I watch the program. Just maybe vinegar along with baking soda. I have used that for garbage disposals. Okay. I don't know what happened to that rooster. It fell over and died one day, though. And I couldn't have been more happy. He tormented me. Oh, no one there wants fertilized eggs. Yeah, I guess there's no really good point to have a rooster then if you don't want fertilized eggs. The problem with that is, though, that somebody might change their mind down the road. I don't know. That's another thing I find hard to cope with is an animal's death. It is. It was really hard in the beginning when I first started learning Sherry. And one of the number one rules on the homestead is never name an animal you're going to eat. And I try to stick with that rule. But every once in a while, you get a boomerang thrown into your plan. And we raised hogs for a long time. Hopefully we'll get pigs back again. But I had a hog. Her name was Olivia. And she was like a dog. She sat, she laid for me, she let me scratch her belly. I love that hog. And she was my first one. And she got up to, what, 600 pounds? 500, 600? 650. But she was supposed to be a breeder hog. And she could not produce. She could not have babies for whatever reason. And she just kept getting bigger and bigger. And it got to the point where we had to butcher her and put her down. And I thought I'd be okay with it, but I wasn't. I lost it. I bawled my eyes out. She was my baby. So that was a really good lesson, but a very hard lesson. And like I said, my very first lesson on the homestead about naming animals. And, ugh, it's hard.
But you can call him George.
Sherry says they get called George. I usually name the ones that I know are going to be butchered or eaten Mister. So you'll hear my pigs be called Mister, you'll hear turkeys called Mister, or whatever animal. Brian says Bantam makes a good little pet. Look, the Bantam is the apple of Brian's eye. So sweet. Yeah, she was massive. But she was a sweetheart. My brother-in-law lets them all out and they poop on her side of the yard. I think he does it on purpose. They don't get along. 50 years of marriage. July 21st. That's a long time. Yep, never name your food animals unless it's a reminder to you of what they are for, like call a pig ham, pork chop, or bacon. Yep. Patience kicker. Much love. Take a motorcycle going for breakfast. Got to ride early before it's hot. Run out. All right, shift picker. Have a good day. Be safe. Winnie is just trying to naturally fertilize her grass to make sure it grows up nice and green. What are you thinking about? Why are you rubbing your face like that? What are you thinking about? Quit being weird.
You stay on my airspace.
You don't have airspace. You're married. You share the same airspace as I do.
No.
Yep.
You're on your portion area and I'm on my portion area.
No, that's not how it works.
Yeah, it is. It's humid out there.
Is that? This bacon's taking forever to fry. My sister's kind of mean. I am known as the nice sister. There's always a nice one and always a mean one. I've always been the nice sister. What was that look for? Thank goodness. No. I've had my moments. There's 3 of us, though. I have an older sister and a younger sister. The younger sister is really quiet, very sweet. And the older sister, I love her.
She's nice.
Uh-huh. If she likes you.
Huh?
If she likes you. And if you don't get on her nerves.
Don't be picking on her.
Well, she is. She knows it too.
Just like you speak your mind.
Hey. You're saying I'm a bitch then?
Look at that, but not that.
I felt that look from there all the way over here. No, I speak my mind, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm calm about it. When she speaks her mind, she's like aggressive and loud. And I've never been like a loud person. I've always spoken, I don't know, calmly, I guess, quietly. She's just loud and aggressive. She wants the whole world to hear her.
Nothing all that.
Yeah.
What you recognize.
Yeah. I guess. I think if Barrett ever meets her in person, he'll have a different outlook on life. We are 6 girls and 2 boys. That's a lot. I am the easiest going. My one brother is easy to the one I travel with. It's a big family. Yeah, there's only 3 sisters and 1 brother in my family. What?
I had 5 brothers and they're all jerks.
I stay neutral with all of them. Stay in my own lane. Yep, Mooney. That's basically what I do. When I was younger, I wasn't that way though. When I was younger, I was down for a good argument, good fight. Not anymore. Mooney, you'll enjoy this one. So me and my brother, we're only 6 months apart, so we were always super close growing up. We always had, what?
6 months apart.
Or not 6 months. Why did I say 6 months? 11 months apart. We're 11 months apart, and we've always been really, really
I
close.
was going to say, what your mom do? Have a reserve or something?
No, but you can have babies like that. You can have double pregnancies. Some women can. It's like a genetic thing. But anyways, 11 months apart. And so we were always the closest siblings. And but we fought. And when we fought, it was bad. We were out at our friend's house that had the horses. My brother was always trying to kill me or pick on me or beat me up or something. He was mean as heck when he wanted to be. And I can't remember what he did. He was picking on me. We were out in the horse pasture. Him and his friends were laughing at me. And he's got one of those big, huge belly laughs where his whole mouth opens when he's laughing. And they were picking on me. And I grabbed a horse turd, and as he was laughing, I threw it at him, and it just hit him perfectly. I wasn't even aiming for his mouth, but it went right in his mouth. He was so mad. He chased me around that field for like an hour. It was horrible. I asked him the last time he came here to visit, was what, last year or the year before? Last year he came to visit, and we were talking about memories and stuff. And I brought it up. He was like, "Do you remember this? Do you remember this?" So I was like, "Do you remember when I hit you in the mouth with a horse turd?" And he was so butthurt. He was still mad about it. He was like, "Yeah, I remember." Irish twins. I do not deal with confrontation. I don't now that I'm an adult. I don't like it. Mooney's family is huge. I see your posts on your cousins. Dragon, 1 brother, 1 half brother, 1 sister, and I don't talk to any of them because they pulled some shady shit that I disown them all. I'm sorry, Dragon. That sucks. We used to call my brother Jeffrey Dahmer Jr. He was sadistic. He chased me around with spray paint and a lighter, tried to torch me. He shot me in the butt one time. Well, twice he shot me in the butt. One time he got a bow from the Indian reservation in New Mexico. My mom went to visit family, and she brought him back a little miniature bow, but it really worked. It was a real bow. It was just miniature. So he got in her kitchen cabinets, found some chopsticks, cut him down to a point, and he shot me in the butt with a chopstick, and it was stuck in my butt, and they had to take it out. He was crazy. And then he had a pump, one of those pump BB guns, and he pumped it like 100 times or something, and shot me in the butt with a BB, and the BB got lodged in there. It's still there. So I refused to go to the hospital and get it out. What else did he do? Oh, she brought him one year that she was visiting New Mexico. She brought him back a hatchet with feathers, like a leather band tied on it with feathers hanging down and some beads. She brought that back from New Mexico. And I still to this day, I run around barefoot. I always have. I'd be outside playing in the backyard or something, and he'd freaking throw that hatchet at my feet and tell me to dance. And I'd be running and he's still throwing it at me. He was nuts. I don't even know how I survived my childhood. Right, Mooney?
So that's where you learn your tricks to throw things. Stuck me in the back of the head with what, a toothpick?
It wasn't a toothpick, it was a mechanical pencil.
Alright.
And you had it coming.
So it's probably the other way around. You was tormenting him by throwing
No.
things.
No. Mooney says, I have 81st cousins. It's a lot of cousins. Dragon says, ha, when we were kids, we used to play catch with the lawn darts. Oh my gosh. I'm sad they disconnected those due to a safety end.
We used to go out in the fields and pull those big weeds. When you pull them out, they had points on them. We used those to throw.
Yeah. Crazy. We did torment the boys though, like my brother, like me and my girlfriends, and my brother and her brothers and stuff like that. Like we'd go down in the creek and swim and stuff, and the boys would be mean to us. They'd say we couldn't swim with them or we couldn't do this with them. They didn't want us around, so we'd freaking wait. They'd go skinny dipping in the creek, and we'd run down there and steal all their clothes. We'd take off back to the house. It wasn't a toothpick, Brian. It was a mechanical pencil. And Barrett, this was like in the beginning of our marriage. And Barrett was not innocent. So don't let him try to
I
say
was
that.
innocent. I
No,
didn't
you
do
was
nothing.
not. So I'll tell you, in the beginning of our marriage, I was pretty spunky. I was only 32?
Yeah.
Something like that, 32. Barrett was he was 52. Sorry, I just got a notification I was reading. And we were pretty spunky in the beginning, trying to learn how to get along and be a couple and stuff like that. And Barrett used to have a temper. Yeah. And it was my fault too. I will take the blame because I instigated a lot of stuff. When I get mad, I don't know how to keep my mouth quiet. I keep running
You
and running.
still do.
I'm not better, but I don't put down my fight very well. How should I say that? I don't
You don't think.
I don't think. I just run my mouth and I instigate and make it worse instead of just shutting up and walking away. And so I'll torment Barrett and stupid arguments. I don't even know what we argued about over the years and stuff, but I think the very first argument we ever got into, he grabbed the toaster by the cord and he threw the toaster at me. You don't remember that? Yeah. He chucked the toaster at me and I ducked. And I said some few choice words to him. We didn't talk for like 3 days. We were really, really good at playing, or I was really, really good at playing the silent treatment. And then the incident, Brian, that Barrett's talking about the pencil, it was winter time. And I'm like, all right, we were arguing. And I'm like thinking in my head, I was writing. I was researching, writing something down. I had a mechanical pencil in my hand. I'm like arguing with him. I don't know what we're arguing about. Probably because I let the fire go out or something. He was starting the fire. He's sitting at the fire with the fire poker poking the fire. And he starts running his mouth. I'm like, all right, this MFer is going to chuck something at me again. I'm going to chuck something at him before he does me. And literally, I just tossed this mechanical pencil. I was just like, tossed it. I don't even know, like, I didn't even throw it hard. But the thing flips over backwards, hits him in the side of the head, and stays. And it, like, his head is bleeding because this pencil is stuck in the side of his head.
And I got lead poisoning.
He was so mad. You did not get no damn lead poisoning. It was the funniest fight ever, but it wasn't. So he got stuck in the head with a pencil and his head was bleeding. It wasn't like a lot, you guys. It was like a pin drop of the blood. And he like dramatized it. He's like, "You made me bleed!" He's like freaking out, yelling at me. And then he takes the fire poker and tosses it, throws it at me, and it hits my pinky toe. And my pinky toe is like cut and all black and blue. And I run to the bedroom, and he's like, "Babe, I'm sorry. Come here, let me see your foot." And I'm like, "Get away from me!" I'm like, "You broke it." He's like, "Please let me see it." I'm like, "No." I was being
What did I
stubborn.
do? I pulled on your pinky.
Yeah, and then he freaking pulls it, you guys. He pulls my pinky toe. And I grabbed, we have like, this is a really old trailer, but we have like a cover for the, what's it called? The breaker box. It's like just a wood cover, and it's like, it comes to like here, it's this tall, and it just leans up against the wall. Well, he went to run out of the bedroom after pulling my pinky toe, and I grabbed that thing, and I chucked it at him down the hall, and it went into like a million pieces. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And he was mad because I broke the thing. So, it took us a long time to be able to communicate and get along and have differences and be okay with it. And he says, "I don't fight. I go garden." We don't fight anymore. We have disagreements, but we don't fight. Let's see. Brian says, "I got lost in a bamboo patch when I was little." Barrett was never found guilty in court of law, so yeah, he was innocent on a how times change. Moody says, "Getting juicy. I don't fight. I just go to the garden." I communicate, and if I get too heated, I go for a walk. Yeah, well, I was young and I didn't have those communication skills. I was never taught that stuff. You could have bought his eye. Geez, remind me not to piss you off. Now we know why we can't have nice things around here. Do you remember what I did to you in the garden? Tell them the story of that. That was pretty bad.
What did you do?
With the machete.
Oh, forget that. I can't run, but I ran.
You did not run. You were on the dang lawnmower.
Oh, I ran.
So, for years of gardening, I'd tell Barrett, he is so mad at me now, I'd tell Barrett not to blow the grass clippings in the garden because it will cause the garden to get all weedy. Well, he never listened. He keep doing it, blowing the weeds in the garden. And just one day I told him, before you even start mowing, do not blow your weeds into my garden. He comes past the garden, blows the weeds in the garden, he's laughing as he goes by. And I was chopping some weeds down with the machete, and I just chased him with the machete, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're crazy." I'm like, "I told you, don't put weeds in my garden." He's like trying to outride me on the stupid lawnmower. So mad at him. And then it was funny because this year we, chopped all that grass down and raked it and then put it in the garden. And he's like, "All those years, you tell me not to put weeds in your garden, and here we are, put weeds in the garden." Like, sorry, I didn't know. You sure you don't want breakfast?
I said yes.
When? When did you say you wanted breakfast?
Last time you asked, I said, yeah, bacon and eggs.
Oh, that's right, you did. Sorry, I forgot.
Ooh.
Well, don't change your mind all the time.
You do that to me all the time. I'll be in there sleeping, wake up because I'm smelling bacon, come out here and she makes enough bacon for her.
You're not awake.
That's beside the point. Gotta wake it up sooner or later.
Well, I don't want you to eat cold bacon, so you just rather go without. Mooney says, what? WTF? Brian's a ferret? Mooney says, damn him. Mooney says, oh boy, here we go. I'm having anxiety. I'm sorry, Mooney. We're giving Mooney anxiety. You better be good.
I am good.
Here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Everybody just get along. We get along fine now, Mooney. And that was just in the beginning. That was like 11 years ago. Now if we get mad and argue and stuff, we just argue. And then,
Don't talk for a day
yep.
and have crazy sex.
Eric! What the hell? Shut up. Can't believe you. You're being bad today.
Mm.
Oh, I'm gonna have to delete this live. See what this Lincoln dragon sent me. This is my sound on it, dragon. I don't see a microphone or anything. He said they're just when you play grass in my garden.
Yeah, that's what I did.
That's exactly what he did, dragon. He was like, I'm out of here. His didn't go that quick though. Mooney says, Dragon Seed, we will have a great marriage. Hey, now, me and Barrett have a great marriage. It just took us a minute to get there. I know, right, Mooney? He's quick.
Who's quick?
Dragon. She says he finds those links lickety split. Which he does. We good? Good enough?
Well.
You're welcome. That's one of the few things I'm quick at. Maria says sometimes some things are good to be quick and other things not so much. What? I just read the comment. Because you're grinning. So I grin. You're grinning, so I grin. I want bacon too. Here, Mooney, come eat some. Firefly lied too. She said she was on her way. She never came. She said she was gonna come stay with me. She was on her way last night to keep the doors unlocked. I left the doors unlocked and she never showed. So later on, when we do the chicken coop, we're going to do a video. I need you to record me. So everybody can see these nasty mites. Bacon and scrambled eggs sounds good for breakfast. Okay, maybe brunch when I get hungry. I love breakfast. Breakfast is the best meal of the day, whether it's for breakfast or brunch.
We haven't even had a cook up this year yet.
I know. Hey, Radio Pepper, good to see you. Long time no see. Hope all is well. I guess they're partying here this weekend, opening the pool. May have me an adult beverage tonight. Wow.
Oh, yeah, this is July, isn't it?
Yep. I know. I'm surprised they, knock on wood, haven't started fireworks last night. Or the guns.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Saltwater Born. It's been a long time since I've seen you too. Hope all is well. Good to see you. Mooney, are you going to have a snake bite or two, Dragon asks? We were watching a video last night. Me and Barrett, one of his cousins, had went on vacation in Myrtle Beach, and I was laughing. She got on top of the table and she was dancing. It was her birthday though, and they let everybody whose birthday was that day on top of the table to dance. And then they were eating at a restaurant, and they had like a stage in the middle of the restaurant, and people could get up there and lip sing songs and stuff. I'm like, that'd be so fun. And I was like, I would so do that. I was like, Barrett, would you do that? He's like, nope, I ain't getting up there. I'm like, come on. I said, you don't really have to sing. You'd have to do it alone. But they had a really good time. Their pictures are really funny. They were cracking me up. Radio says, all good on this end. Hope you are doing well. I am. Thank you. Water moccasins? No, not in this company. What video did we watch the other day on a snake thing? I don't remember now.
Snake thing.
A snake. Yeah. As long as it's not a Bud Light. Yeah. If you ever drink a beer again, Barrett, what are you gonna drink?
Nothing.
You're gonna have some Kahlua with me. Or strawberry daiquiri. Oh yeah, you like the 7-7s. Three water moccasins make clothes come off. That bacon had a good flavor this morning. You know, all the times that I drank tequila in the past, you never drank tequila with me, did you? Why? I just thought of that. The guys here will probably be drinking mixed, and the ladies probably fruity something. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've had my breakfast. We've had our chat. Made some garlic juice. And we're gonna head off to get into town so we can get back home before all the crazy people get out. My worst task: to drive to town, go into town to people. We gotta get some dog food. The dogs are out of food, so I gotta look that dog food up that Mooney suggested too. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I want to thank you all for coming out and visiting me today, hanging out with me and Barrett. We really appreciate it. Until next time, stay happy, healthy, and safe. Remember, you are loved and you are not alone.